This one is May June 2016, variant 1, paper 4. Duration 1 hour 15 minutes. The first question, proton, neutron, and electrons are subatomic particles. Complete the table to show the relative mass and relative charge of proton, neutron, and electron. So use the screen annotation to fill up this. Okay, thank you, Afif. So relative mass, because neutron and proton have the same mass, that's why it's 1 and 1. When we compare the charge of proton with electron, they have the same charge, but the nature are opposite. That's why one of them is +1, another one is minus. And neutron are the neutral particles, so it does not have any charge. That's why it is 0. This is a relative charge, and the other one is relative mass. Is it clear discussion? I want participation from everyone because I will help you out in question if you find it difficult or not able to understand. But you should try to solve it. So this will be a practice for you. This is a table which you have to learn, Abdullah. When you compare the masses of proton and neutron have the same mass. That's why we write 1 and 1. The ratio is 1:1. Proton and electron have the same charge. That's also 1 and 1. But because proton are positive, so we say +1. Electrons are negative, so we say -1. And neutrons are neutral, so it is 0. Next, B1, define the term isotope. How we define the term isotope? You can either tell the answer or type the answer on the space. Use screen annotation. You can use that to answer. Define the term isotope. Or if you want to mention answer in a chat, that's also okay. So atoms of the same element with same proton number but different neutron number. I'll show the distribution. So same proton, electron but different neutron are atoms of the same element. So atom of element that have same number of electron, proton but different number of neutrons. Next is explain why the two isotopes of a bromine has the same chemical properties. So why the two isotope of a bromine have the same chemical properties? So you can see here the distribution. Reasons why I'm showing you the answer key or a marking scheme, not to memorize, just to understand the distribution of the marks. So the previous, when you wrote the definition, you should mention atom of the same element. One mark is for atom of the same element and the second mark different number of neutron. And in this one, 2 marks, same number of electron in the outer shell. So 1 mark is for number of electron and the second mark is for the outer shell. Yes, you can mention valence shell as well. Part C, complete this. The table shows the number of proton, neutron, and electron. Complete the table. Use the screen annotation to complete this. There is there's an icon which shows like for a pencil or a pen. Use that icon to write. There's one icon on the screen you can see as a pencil. So click on that and you can use the screen annotation or write. Look how you can find your potassium should be plus. Look how you will do this question. Atomic number, the smaller number is atomic number, which is a number of proton, which is 3. How to find a neutron number, 7 minus 3, that's equal to 4. And if it's a neutral atom, proton number and electron number should be same. That's why it is 3. But what about sulfur? Atomic number is 16 or proton number 16. How to find
Two electrons more.
How to find yeah, that's correct. How to find neutron number? 34 minus 16, which is equals to 18. And what about the electron? Because there is a negative charge. So negative charge means it has extra 2 electrons. The proton and electron are not same. So that's why it is 18. And when you complete for potassium, so atomic number 19, so it's 19. And you can use the periodic table, it's potassium. What about atomic mass? 19 plus 22, that's make 41. And is there a charge? How you identify? Electrons are 18, but protons are 19, so extra protons, so it should be a plus 1 charge. Is it clear? Question 2 is about the moles, 2 part A and B. But 2 part A is about moles. What about 2 part B? Magnesium reacts slowly with warm water to form a base, magnesium hydroxide. Explain what is meant by term base. How you define the term base? Definition of a base. Definition of acid, the general definition of acid. Acids are proton donors. And what is the definition of base? Proton acceptor or OH ion donor. So either they donate OH ion or they accept proton. So base, a substance which donate OH ion or accept proton, we call that as a base. If base dissolve in water, then we call that as alkali. Oxides or hydroxides, oxides of hydroxides of metal, but this definition is not valid for all the substances. Because some of the metal hydroxide or metal oxides are amphoteric. Amphoteric means they can react with both acid and alkali. So the best definition, the complete definition for a base, it is a proton acceptor or hydroxide ion donor. The next is write a chemical equation for reaction between magnesium and warm water. Yeah, that's correct. Magnesium plus water gives, but it's warm. Magnesium reacts slowly with warm water to form a base, magnesium hydroxide. So it should be magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen, not magnesium oxide. Magnesium plus water, water is H2O, gives magnesium. They already give you the result. Magnesium react with water, gives magnesium hydroxide. So what will be the formula for magnesium hydroxide? Magnesium belongs to group 2, so it's +2, and hydroxide valency is -1. So formula for magnesium hydroxide will be MgOH in a bracket 2. Plus hydrogen. 1 mark is for the equation, 1 mark is for balancing. So you have, the second thing is for balance. This is a product you wrote. To balance this, you have 2 oxygen on the right hand side, so you put 2. So oxygen is balanced, hydrogen is balanced, magnesium is balanced. So just we have to put 2, that's correct. Magnesium plus 2 water molecule gives magnesium hydroxide plus hydrogen. The formula for magnesium hydroxide, why it is MgOH in a bracket 2? Because magnesium is group 2, so +2, and hydroxide valency is -1. That's why it is MgOH in a bracket 2. For balancing, first we complete a product, then we have to balance. How many oxygen you see here? 2. So you need 2 oxygen, so that's why you put 2. Oxygen is balanced. What about hydrogen? This is 2 and 2, 4, and hydrogen is already 4. Magnesium is 1, magnesium is 1. So all the elements are balanced. Is it clear? Aluminum oxide is amphoteric and it is insoluble in water. Describe an experiment to show it is amphoteric. What we should do to show aluminum oxide is amphoteric? Amphoteric means can react with both acid and alkali. Acid, Salman, metal plus water gives metal hydroxide plus hydrogen. Not metal oxide, metal hydroxide. Yeah, that's correct. Test with acid and test with alkali. And what is the distribution of the marks? So you have to add a name to acid. You don't like specifically, not generally acid you say, you should mention a specific name of the acid. So add a name acid, example hydrochloric acid, add a name to alkali like sodium hydroxide. So here what is the answer? Because we have to, what we will do, we will add acid, but we have to name the acid. Example, add hydrochloric acid. It will react to aluminum oxide. It will react or neutralize and dissolve. Then the second thing, add sodium hydroxide, the alkali, to aluminum oxide. It will react and dissolve. So if it react with both acid and alkali, which shows it is amphoteric. Yeah, that's correct. React with hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide, neutralize them or forming a solution. This shows that it is amphoteric. Okay, next part. Silicon 4 oxide is a giant structure. Name type of bonding. There are three types of bonding: ionic, covalent, and metallic. What kind of bonding is there in silicon 4 oxide? Yeah, because it's a sharing of electrons, so it's a covalent. Give two physical properties. Give two physical properties of silicon 4 oxide. High melting point, insoluble in water, or does not conduct electricity. Does not conduct heat or electricity. The last part of this question, calcium phosphate is used in fertilizers. Bonding in calcium phosphate is ionic. What is ionic bonding? How you define ionic bonding? Yes, sir, that's correct. The electrostatic force of attraction between the unlike charges, that's called ionic bonding. Then the last part, you have to deduce the formula for calcium phosphate. So how you deduce the formula for calcium phosphate? Some of them already mentioned the answer. So calcium phosphate, calcium valence, calcium is a group 2, it's +2. And phosphate is PO4. The valency is given 3 minus or -3. When valencies are not same, you cross multiply. So when you cross multiply, it will be Ca3 PO4 in a bracket 2. Is it clear? You have to write the formula for calcium phosphate. Calcium, when you check the group, the periodic table, calcium is group 2, so it is +2. And phosphate, it's PO4, and the valency is given -3. You simplify the valency, but this valency cannot be simplified, so you cross multiply. So when you cross multiply, 3 will come with calcium and 2 will come with phosphate. Is it clear now? Okay, so I'll end the session and share the recording.
Yeah, sir, can you just
Yes?
explain the last question again?
Calcium phosphate formula.
Yes.
Calcium, symbol is Ca. Phosphate, it's PO4. The charge on the phosphate is 3 minus or minus 3. And calcium, because it's a group 2, so the charge is plus 2. So when the valencies are not same, you cross multiply. So when you cross multiply to write a chemical formula, so it will be Ca3, PO4 is there in a bracket, then 2. So that's a formula for.
Yeah, I got it.
Calcium phosphate. So I'll end the session and share the recording with you.